Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Ryan. This is episode 122, the weekly show. All of the week's hottest topics with a twist. Be sure to follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Especially Rumble. Rumble is the free speech alternative to YouTube. Like the video, comments on the video, all appreciated. Ryan, we gotta check in on Ryan because we're concerned about Ryan. He almost died.
Yeah, it was fatal.
No, it wasn't fatal. You're still here. Near fatal.
Oh, sorry. They say near fatal.
Ryan, what happened to you?
I caught the Ronski. I caught the beer bug. I caught the dark winter that was going to happen because I was unjabbed. Came 2 years later. So thank you, Joe Biden. I'm so happy I was shivering. At least I'll be broke because inflation this year. I caught COVID.
Brian, if you had to vote and you had COVID, would you have been able to make it, or would you have had to mail your vote in weeks before?
Me personally, negative. Like I would, I didn't go anywhere. I mean, I will say that it wasn't like I could plan to do something necessarily. And it wasn't that I was deathly ill or like had all these symptoms, but I did not feel the best. Some things I noticed which were interesting. It's kind of funny to me. A couple things. I don't want to get everything political, especially about business, because I understand business. I'm not calling out any employers. But I had to go get a county-approved test for an employer in a hypothetical world, which is fine. But when you go online and you type in CDC, You know what they tell you could take that's just as good, David?
At-home test?
Yeah, the at-home test. Actually, I have a sticker on mine that I got from the police from the testing place that says you can extend the expiration date on these because the FDA. Yeah. Hold on.
Well, hold on, because that's not an expiration date. If the expiration can be extended,
this is like the actual packet they gave me.
It's no longer an expiration date.
They told me I need to stay masked. Because, of course, I'm a good citizen, so I always listen.
Yes, of course. I'm sure you did. You were probably in your own room, in your own car, just masked up.
I jerked off in silence. Yeah, the FDA extends the expiration date for this iHealth COVID antigen rapid test for 6 months after expiration date. For more information, scan the QR code, YouTube. Bam. This is the approved one. I got this when I voted. I think I actually said this in our segment.
They gave you one when you voted?
No, they had them on a table, and they also had these, which were they had these on the table at voting as well. But I grabbed 2 of each because one each person in my household. But
did they also have pregnancy tests?
That's funny. No abortion tests there, David. I didn't know if they had one at home that I could take with me to make sure that I needed one. But
well, if you need an abortion, then you also need a doctor because you have cancer.
Quick squirrel. I heard a terrifying story about a man today wearing skirts, and we should bring back public stoning. Maybe I'm just an Islamist. Anyways, not to make a joke about Allah like Steven Crowder and get threatened off the internet, but in all seriousness, honestly, people they were exactly right. Okay, I didn't feel like I was dying. I'm relatively healthy. My doctor knew I wasn't vaccinated. Everything. They didn't push it. I wasn't pushed. Ever since I started was able to lie about being vaccinated in public and everybody just accepted that people were lying and didn't care anymore. This is my main problem with the employer thing. It's fine. I don't care about every company is right. I believe in that freedom. The problem I have is the psychology that you people made. I couldn't leave my house. It was like everything. Everybody was like, "No, we got his
grandparents, man."
I was near zero grandparents. I barely see grandparents when I work 9 to 5 because they're all sleeping when I get out of work for the rest of the night, primarily, or in their old folks' home. So let's send all the sick ones there with the other ones.
Don't look at me. That was your governor.
I know we're jumping all over the board, but this is honestly, I will never forget. It's not that I'm judging people, but I'm judging you. Think what is different? Nothing's changed. It's the same illness. You can say it's fucking mutated on TV so that it seems less deadly than before, but I guarantee you it's probably the same exact thing. It's probably relatively similar.
It's probably not that it's so much less deadly, this variant, and I'm sure it is a little bit, whatever.
It
But it's
reminds me
probably
of the
because
different strains of flu, David.
right. But we now have a better understanding of how to deal with, a normal virus that we've dealt with for decades. Ryan, I don't want to derail your flu story.
It's fine.
I hope you recovered well from the flu.
I'm relatively fine. But
Ryan,
older people should have been worried. I'm sorry, David.
you said something along the lines of, I won't forget. And I'm not going to forget that the Hunter Biden laptop story was pulled off Twitter right before the election. And we know, without a doubt, at least there is evidence to indicate that if that story would have been left alone, Joe Biden would have lost the election. That's all you need, really. I mean, we can talk about all the other forms of fraud that totally didn't happen, YouTube. But that's enough. That changed the election.
Did we not say at that time here at December 17th, 73, that the implications of that was like altering?
Yes. Okay. Correct.
From our couch, but the news, I'm assuming the news with all their trillions of billions of dollars that they're able to get from campaigns, from cryptocurrencies, that they can have the resources to predict this as well, David.
Here's where I'm going with this.
I'm sorry, David. I derailed you.
Here's where I'm going with this. Here's the problem. The New York Times was censored. Their speech was censored. Their press was censored, right? First Amendment. Both speech and press were censored.
New York Post, correct?
New York Post. Yeah, did I say New York Times?
Correct.
Sorry, New York Times was 2 years later they verified the story. New York Post was 2 years before.
And CBS was this week.
So New York Post got pulled. The reason I'm bringing this up, remember the how the Russians fired missiles and they landed in Poland and killed people? Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. Well, here's the thing about that is that didn't quite happen.
Richard, first to you, the NATO chief also saying this is not Ukraine's fault, that Russia bears the ultimate responsibility. Russia bombarded Ukraine with about 90 missiles yesterday, as you know better than we do, hitting civilian targets, the energy infrastructure. But, at the same time, Peskov, speaking for Vladimir Putin, says, well, Poland overreacted, and at least the U.S.
lost you here.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you did.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
So far, the Ukrainian reaction has been, we're back. Okay.
Oh,
so this
wonderful.
is something of an embarrassment, frankly, for Ukraine, because President Zelensky quickly came out and blamed Russia even before all of the facts were in. The reason we're seeing NATO saying it's not Ukraine's fault is that Ukraine was only firing its air defense systems in response to a massive campaign of air attacks by Russia. Fire their air defenses, and apparently one of those air defense systems misfired and landed in Poland, killing these two people. And that's why the Secretary General of NATO said, well, it's not exactly Ukraine's fault. But what President Zelensky may have done is gotten a little bit ahead of his skis, blaming the Russians before all the facts were in. And often, as you know, Andrea, in war times, the first reports aren't always the most accurate ones.
Okay. I have 15 things to say about this. One, he used a term "getting ahead of his skis." I don't know if that's a normal phrase or if that's a joke about people on that side of the world and their last names. Okay, so no, in all seriousness, two things. I don't understand how we can censor stories in real time, because the logic was it could have been Russian disinformation, but who makes that call, right? That's the whole problem. And it turns out the DHS and the FBI made that call. There's a problem with that, obviously. There's a problem with the AP, who originally broke the story, who is a very trusted news source, very, very professional journalists at the AP. They used, of course, somebody very familiar with the matter. It was supposed to be some type of U.S. intelligence guy who said that Russia fired the missiles originally that landed in Poland. Turns out it was Ukraine. The third thing, I don't buy that their missile defense system misfired and landed in Poland. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. I don't buy it. Ukraine's corrupt. We know they're corrupt. We know why. There's a very obvious advantage for them making it look like Russia fired a missile at Poland. So I don't buy it. I don't care. Call me a conspiracy theorist. My theory, and I'll say it's a theory, Ukraine fired a missile intentionally at Poland to stoke the flames further. And then AP just so happened to talk with a U.S. intelligence official who told them that it was a Russian missile, and then it turns out that it was actually a Ukrainian missile. I know there's a lot there, but what general thoughts, Ryan?
Well, it's amazing. I don't know if we actually talked about it, and this is a jump back in time if people remember. There was a Malaysian airline that went missing, right? And it was eventually figured out that it was shot down in Russia or something along those lines. And they knew for years, but you didn't hear about it till recently. And it dovetails perfectly with these kind of narratives that, like, they were running things like it was sucked in a hurricane. I mean, they take a picture of the globe every fucking day. I could get McDonald's drive-through dropped off at my house with a drone, but we can't figure out where an airplane went missing.
Like, well, it was only, to be fair, Ryan, it was a small, full-size commercial airline.
We can read a newspaper from space, David. But still, yeah, it dovetails the same. There's no difference. This has been the same scheme we know of, but back to your original point, which is it's amazing to see these things in real time, which is why you got to talk about it, because it's not trivial that they do this. This is like, there's this always thing about the defense of free speech. Once again, I shouldn't have to defend something if it's not being infringed. So just the mere act that I'm defending it is proof that you are censoring free speech. It doesn't matter. I don't think disinformation is even a real thing. It's probably a political term at this point, I would say. Like,
well, okay, so here's
a legal term. It's been probably used in court to, like, get people like Alex Jones, for example. But
well, yes, I can explain for people who don't understand. There's misinformation, which is unknowingly spreading false information. There's disinformation, which I believe is knowingly spreading false information. And then there's malinformation, which is viciously, knowingly spreading false information.
Mansplaining?
Mansplaining would just be information. That's regular information, right?
Mansplaining would be we fix the problems and stop listening to females. I'm kidding. It was a joke. Serious joke. Females should...
All great humor has a kernel of truth.
Yeah, well, yeah, females should 100% be listened to, but not make decisions all the time. I don't know what's so hard to... I don't go to women and be like, what do I do when I'm giving birth? That's just the easy one. I don't know, whatever. I told my sisters today, my sister stopped shopping at a certain place because they had a crazy tranny there working. And I told her, I was like,
Secret.
No, Alta.
That'd be the worst.
No, Victoria's Secret has the fat girls. Those are bad enough, David.
Yes, can I use the dressing room? Yes, I'll come right with you. It's just me with a wig.
Jesus Christ, dude. I told them we got to put our foot down, dude. I know everybody's been saying it, but, like, you have to be whatever. There's too many stories to tell people nowadays. But you have to be Superman in your local Walmart sometimes and tell a guy to get the fuck out of here.
Ryan, hear me out. And I know we're off topic, but
we're so on topic.
No, all I can think
I've been cooped up inside, dude. So
here's what we do. We go to Victoria's Secret. We put on wigs and put no other effort into it. And then we interview for positions. I think we could get the job just because they'd be afraid to say no.
Do I shave, Dave? Because I'm not shaving.
That's a good... No, I'll have a mustache and a wig. I don't give a fuck. That'd be the perfect undercover video, though, because I'd love to see how awkward that interview would be. They can't say no to anything. They can't say no during the interview. It'd be a media frenzy if they did.
The Mall by Me is certainly glorified right now as the SJW thing of the whatever. I said her name. She started going to Sephora, and please bleep that. She'll cut my balls off, brother. She's going to Sephora nowadays because the whole point is, like, these ethics and stuff. I don't even know how we got here.
I don't know. Poland fired a missile, or I'm sorry, Ukraine fired a missile at Poland.
Oh, painting there.
Let's restart.
Yeah. The free speech thing. We get that with the tranny thing now, for sure. Yeah, free speech. We're watching them censor free speech in real time. David, what was the end thing at the... The guy at the end sounded condescending to a world fucking leader when this guy's sitting in a studio on the other side of the globe. Who the fuck are you? You know what? How do I know that all the shit that you're saying isn't part of all the bullshit to begin with to help with the military strategies on all these?
I'm sorry, Ryan. I have a connection error. I can't hear you. Oh, it's back. Holy shit.
Most important.
I can't hear you, but I'm going to keep going. First of all, if there was actually a connection error, right, you wouldn't have a one-way connection error. You wouldn't just keep talking thinking there's a connection. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, logically, that doesn't make sense. There's no connection error. He just didn't want to hear what she had to say.
Guys, yeah, I'm supposed to believe he's there. Well, they have green screens. Not saying that he's not there. Get the fact check on the fucking green. Throw something in the background.
I don't know where we are right now.
Dude, I'm sorry. I've been cooped up inside. It's been
We're
gnarly.
ultra off the rails right now. We haven't been off the rails.
No, we're not off the rails, man.
We're kind of off the rails.
These people, look, he's criticizing world leader when he could be spreading misinformation because he don't even fucking know. The guy that fired the missile has more clearance than the asshole telling me about the information about the missile. Do we not see a problem? I think the bigger I don't care who fired the missile. How many, people died? Well, he fired it. 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 He fired. This is what they've been doing for thousands of years over there. I was just digging into Slavic folklore earlier this week. It was very interesting. But they've been doing this forever, literally forever. They've been fucking each other up over there like this forever. And then I'm just supposed to believe that they're spouting this information now during a very particular time. I wonder what else is happening in politics this week, David.
Oh, well.
Censoring the Hunter Biden laptop story was the initial segue in here, which is the thing, because aren't they pressing forward with some things with that? They're really looking into it, or they're just admitting?
Oh, well, yeah, they are seriously looking into it. So now keep in mind what we talked about. And there's the business dealings of Hunter Biden, illegal business dealings, ties to Ukraine and Russia. More importantly, not just Hunter Biden, but Joe Biden as well, ties to Ukraine and Russia and illegal business dealings. Very serious stuff. There was... and I'm just, this is the allegedly thing, right? Just sprinkle allegedly all over this. I'm just going off of what people who have the laptop in their hands say. A lot of things like pedophilia and child pornography. Very obviously super concerning. Bad stuff there. So yes, the FBI is seriously looking into it. Very seriously considering charges on, I think, something to do with his taxes. So I'm glad they're at the helm. It's
a mockery, man. Like censoring First Amendment, getting what they want. We know they do it. It's important pointing it out. David, that's a great summary.
Yeah, they're seriously looking into tax problems, issues with his taxes. Don't worry about that child pornography.
It's really great because I believe on this program we aired some rated mature content on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it looked like he had some pretty fun times with some friends.
Yes, a lot of hookers, prostitutes, things like that. Listen, I'm not shit. I don't care what the dude does on his own time with consenting other adults. Of course, obviously, child pornography.
Everybody can
alleged child pornography.
David, everybody consents when you have cocaine.
I know, it's the best part of cocaine.
Come here, little boy. I got some candy.
Other things that are important, Ryan, you wanted to watch, and I'm glad. Dan Crenshaw, everyone's. I was gonna say everyone's favorite. It's not.
Well, he's Rogan's boy, right?
Rogan does love some Dan Crenshaw. Don't want to have Trump on, but we'll have fucking.
Don't want to help that guy, but this guy right here that goes to global meetings. Why? I wonder why somebody would want to meet with a fucking billionaire ex-president. Just.
So Dan Crenshaw was talking about a climate summit that he attended, him and other Republicans. And well.
Here because everybody here is a Republican, and we have a Republican base that might say, "Why are you going to this globalist meeting, guy? This is why are you cohorting with the likes of these people?" And I would say the answer is just because, well, you better be happy that people like us are here, because
Ryan, you better be happy about it.
Offering what was a different point of view, this sort of rational environmentalism, where look, you can accept that we should have cleaner energy and lower emissions. To mitigate whatever the potential effects of those things are on the climate. But we also have to accept another necessity, which is energy security, which I think we all define as energy you can rely on, that turns on when you want it to turn on, at a price that you can generally accept and also predict throughout the year, right? Just the basics. And we're like the only ones talking that way.
They're having people adjust down their lifestyle. So all of this progression over a century, instead of enjoying what has been created and developed and progressed, we're going to go backwards and do without and sacrifice.
We've given so much economic advantage to China that we're now fighting them militarily, economically, internationally as far as strategy. And here we are woohooing how great we're cutting emissions in our own lifestyles to that point. But China at the same time is continuing to get an out. They're building more coal plants today, and they're actually going to get an out for more than another decade. So we're working, doing the hard work, cutting our own throats, if we will, economically, and they're blossoming.
In the United States, we've led the world in reducing emissions. We've led the world. Not
Good thing those Republicans are there.
17-year period. In fact,
doing a killer job,
reducing
apparently.
emissions more than the next 7 emissions reducing countries combined. The biggest contribution to that reduction in emissions is our transition
capitalism.
to natural gas.
No, it's
Going
capitalism.
from dirtier fuel sources to natural gas. Now the thing is that
Yeah,
we've got
why did we go to natural
even better
gas?
and cleaner at using natural gas.
And that's capitalism.
And we now have complementary technologies where you can effectively make natural gas indistinguishable from any other renewable from an emissions perspective. And so we've got to recognize that you're going to have a surge in global energy demand. Even the Biden administration predicts it's going to be a 50% increase in global energy demand. So take all the energy being produced around the globe today and increase it by another 50% just in the next 28 years. So we need every source we can get. And if we can use natural gas, something that's abundant in Louisiana, Texas, and other states, and we can do it in a way that continues this downward trajectory of reducing emissions, why in the world would we not do that?
If you let the industry build pipelines, build the export terminals they need, really let them do what they need to do, they could probably quadruple exports of gas in the next decade. If you also had the U.S. government coming to COP27
Like we did 2 years ago.
and COP 29 and asking other developing countries to buy our gas and displace their coal with that, right? If you had a concerted government efforts, because that's a big if, right? But the assumption is, and the calculation goes as such, the assumption is that gas being exported displaces coal. All right, so you're reducing, which is how we reduced our emissions so much. Our gas displaced coal. If you did that, it would have the equivalent emissions reduction of giving everyone in America solar panels on their home, giving everyone in America an electric vehicle, and doubling our wind capacity. That's an astounding set of facts, and they are facts. And so, but we're not doing that. Our government is not doing that at COP 26, 27, 28. They're just coming up here, and everybody's doing the feel-good thing.
I have a lot to say about this clip.
Go on.
And I actually did not even watch the entire thing because all I saw originally was the picture I sent you, David, that said something about we're here, Republicans are here for like common sense or something. Look, I know
the UN climate conference in Egypt is known for their great bounds forward of climate progression, of course, comes from Egypt.
It's crazy. We're going to the place like parts of where the Greeks and the Western civilization was birthed. But like, I don't know who's there. I know nothing about this meeting. Judging on this, I know exactly what it is, considering Dan Crenshaw here said a couple things. And a few things about him. I know he's got a politician. I know he believes. I'm not saying he doesn't believe this. He believes it. Some of these people could be lobbyists for some of these companies. I get all the. But here's the problem. Republicanism has always been a minority. That's the problem with you going to these places. If these countries cannot understand that capitalism saved us, not anything else. It was the idea that the market could pivot because that's what, if the government had to regulate it, sure, you can say, right, David, you could say slight government regulation can alter the market for a good thing. I agree. I'm not closed-minded on everything, right? I agree to some things, like some electricity things, for example, in my field. But the point still remains. See, what he said about the solar panels, I know it's all true. It's all real. I agree. I know that's why they're there. I understand his mission. But these people They're sitting on global boards, and you're sitting up there talking about fucking energy. But you're a Republican. What are you representing? All these people have already said we're going to own nothing. What more do you what fucking more do you need to say to them?
Well,
They said by 2035 I'll own nothing. And then you're talking about energy bills, which will crush everybody. Don't matter how fucking rich you are. Imagine having 30,000 homes and millions of dollars in real estate and the heating bill triples. Buy houses. Like it's not hard to believe that the people that don't have money aren't going to have money long, and then the people that have all the money are going to have more money. You're going to cripple all of us because of these bad policies, but the idea is because of government restriction, these global policies, all these things you're trying to up there to fight against. These people don't care. You're doing lip service, Dan Crenshaw. You can go up there and say it's all principle and we're holding on. This is like Thomas Jefferson going, right, and giving them the things before the Declaration and talking with King Louis or whoever the fuck they sent over there. Fine. Great. But they don't care. So don't get on Instagram, please, and act like it's like this big thing. It is a big thing. Good job. Pat on the fucking back. But they don't care. They're out to bankrupt me. They've said it. They say it all the time. They say it every 10 years, every 5 years, every 1 year. And all these little freaky, narcissistic ass, power corruption filled meetings where kings and queens go and touch magic fucking globes in the middle of the Saudi Arabian desert. You remember Trump? He got lit up for that. You don't think it's on accident that these people are sitting there talking about taking everything away from me and I'm supposed to believe that this... Dan, I'm not saying he's a rhino or whatever, but like, it's hard to argue principle when you've seen compromise going to places where elites are. Not saying you don't do a good job. Not saying we don't need represent. I get the arguments, man. It's not good enough for me. What you need to do is say these people want to bankrupt our country and destroy our way of life. What more do you need to say? It's economic warfare on the United States of America at a global level because we have a higher standard of living than the rest of the world. And they're trying to get that for themselves. What is so hard to believe about that? China and all this stuff. Yeah, China's a great example. But what about Europe? They're dependent on Russia. Russia lives in the cold most of the year. Who needs power more than anybody? And where's the war going on? But I'm supposed to believe, David, it's Veep, not House of Cards, Ben Shapiro. I'm on my couch, yo. I got my pillows and napkin tissues, Ben Shapiro. Glad Jordan Peterson's on Daily Wire Scribe Plus, which I'm probably going to subscribe to. He's got a great series. I'm a big fan. I just love talking shit about Ben Shapiro because it's true, though. He's
because he doesn't miss very often.
No, but
so when he does, I think we're right to point it out.
Yeah, the dude's looking at everything like so close. It's like, dude, it's all around
to be fair, I did the same thing with his take on the Queen when the Queen died. She's not really in power. It's more of symbol. Yeah, like people with billions of dollars of net worth don't actually control things. Yeah, you're right, Ben Shapiro.
That's why you're taking 50 minutes defending her death for being attacked by liberals, because it's not just its significance. Yeah, it's just a little obituary about the Queen. There's tops all other right-wing conservatives. It's Veep, though.
In a really weird way, Ryan. This kind of reminds me of what's going on with soccer. So the U.S. in the World Cup, FIFA, Qatar. I don't know enough about soccer. I don't care. The ball's round.
Fuck them. Go USA.
Goalie. It sucks. Boring. Things end in 0-0 ties. I don't care. Soccer's terrible. Here's the point, though. U.S. could have. They went, right? But they could have said, fuck this. We're not going to Qatar. I mean, they fucking use slave labor to build their stadiums and they throw gay people off of buildings. Like, we're out. We're not doing it.
No, they don't, David. I didn't see it on my
No, they absolutely do.
I did not see it on my TikTok feed, David.
The interesting thing is, and the reason I think these things are related, Crenshaw and Republicans could say, fuck this. We're not going to these stupid global climate summits. Nobody has our interest in mind. Like, we're not going to go there. We're not actually representing anybody. Nobody's going to take us seriously. We're just going there symbolically to say we're there. When they really should protest it, say, fuck you, we're not going, and do what they're supposed to be doing.
Or elect a guy that's got a super big dick like Donald Trump and just fucking wreck everything when you walk in the room.
Move. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, peasant.
There's peanuts. Go eat them.
No, if I have people going to global climate summits, I want it to be somebody who, I don't know, somebody who installed like a road on their yacht so they can drive their yacht and drive an SUV around a road at the same time. Like that's the kind of person I need going to a global, not fucking Crenshaw. I need somebody so opposed to it that I have a shimmering hope. I have no hope with Dan Crenshaw going there. I don't. He's not going to make a difference. He's going to go there and he's going to get shilled by fucking globalists.
Dude, what's crazy is this is my conservative-ish feed, right? Imagine all the liberals there that you don't even know about, all these other people that are just like, hey, what's up, Qatar leader of fucking Zimbabwe trillionaire? Sure, I'll sell my daughter to sex slavery so I can have a Cayman Island. I don't know how it works, but if they have Fuck Island YouTube, anything's possible.
I know what people are thinking. They may be thinking, we could be wrong about this, but here's the thing. We're usually right, Ryan. Not to toot our own horns. The Colorado Springs shooting that happened, we reported on it, of course. Just mentioned it because not a whole lot of news was out. But we said what was going to happen was the news was going to come out and blame right-wingers. It was going to be a right-wing attack.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we waited so that like when we talked about it, it wasn't like a big deal. We just tried to.
Yeah, we said, this is what they said happened, and they're going to blame people on the right. And what I saw was almost immediately after bombshell, the 22-year-old Colorado Springs mass shooter is the grandson of GOP California State Assemblyman from San Diego, who is also a staunch supporter of the 1-6 insurrection, which is totally irrelevant. But it's not irrelevant because they want to create the narrative. This guy is the super MAGA far right-wing guy, right? And they want to tie the dots between MAGA and people going around killing gay people, right? That's what they want to do. The thing is about all of that, and that sounds bad, but then, well, here's more information about the person that they had left out. The individual suspected of perpetrating a deadly shooting at a gay nightclub in Colorado last weekend identifies as non-binary. Anderson Aldrich is a non-binary. They use they/them pronouns. And for the purposes of all formal filings, will be addressed as Mix Aldrich.
They wrote that in the...
Yes. MX, which apparently is the non-binary version of Mr. and Mrs. I guess. The thing is, it doesn't necessarily come out and say that he's, a left-wing or a right-wing guy. But the thing is, like what happened with Paul Pelosi, the whole thing reeks of guy who's definitely not a Republican, especially not like a MAGA Republican, right? This guy, the hemp salesman who attacked Paul Pelosi, probably not a Republican.
I wonder what happened to him.
The guy who files his formal documents as MX because he's non-binary and he uses they/them pronouns, probably not a Republican. I've never had a Republican walk into a room and announce their pronouns to everybody. Very good chance this guy's not far right-wing like they tried to make it seem.
It seems at this point that you think would
Hold on. I just got to make sure we got just in case there are any questions.
Yeah, you'd almost think that the LGBT is going to start swinging right-wing because it's so obnoxious. Like gay people are going to start being like Dave Rubinized. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, which is great for the cause, but it's very interesting. Something quick about that 1-6 thing. Are we going to start seeing never forget 1-6 stickers like 9/11 stickers? These people are fucking creepy, dude. Like it's symbol. They know what they're doing. 9/11, never forget 1-6, capital siege, insurrection, stoke the flames from former presidents that didn't willingly pass down the torch of power.
You mean the one who did? The same one who went on Twitter and said we have to peacefully make sure it's peaceful, respect our Capitol police officers, that guy?
Yeah, just imagine if that guy said, let's not be peaceful. That's what's so fucking hilarious. Imagine if everybody you'll all get a pardon. Like, it'd be fucking mayhem in this country. That's what pisses me off about him going to some on global. You think that people here give a fuck that you went to a global? I'm sorry, Dave. We get off topic. Dude, like 1-6, never forget. Fuck you guys. Of course, he's gonna be a staunch supporter, non-binary, and people go shoot it up. Why? Because he had a gun.
Well, and keep in mind, the original
Isn't that profiling the thing you fucking hate? You hate judging people. You hate the idea of labels, and just because somebody owns a firearm, you're labeled an extreme right winger.
Well, the thing that's interesting is how minimal and how deep they had to go to try to find a connection to the right wing, right? He's the grandson of a GOP, like a grandson and a grandfather can't have different political views.
Of a 1-6 supporter too, which just makes it even crazier. Like, why is this guy shooting up a gay nightclub? You know, this actually makes me think that this is the guy that they radicalized to shoot up the gay nightclub to push the narrative that right wingers hate gay people during the 1-6 election or trans. You see, this is how conspiracies are born. Actually, they're like supplanting the seeds of their own destruction, and like the sow of discord with this information. It is not relevant, David. That's a great point. But like seeing it now, like. It's almost like the most relevant thing about the story. This guy's a grandson, and then they wonder why they're not trusted in people are conspiracy theories or extreme right wingers when we see you do these things. It's very interesting.
That's what we had.
I hate it.
I
gotta eat. Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Elon wrap up. I see.
Yeah, I don't know what this means.
Yeah, I like this. Now, as you guys know here, I'm the biggest hater, fanboy, appreciator, non-discriminator, super discriminator when it comes to Elon. I like this dude is like, you know, I trust him 40%, don't trust him 40%, and the other 20% is on God. Like there's no, what else can you do with a guy that's so smart that he could invent the things that could destroy everybody and save people? And all that's different is a 1-0 in a computer, maybe, or a 0 instead of a 1. I don't even know how simple code works because I didn't learn how to code YouTube. So I can't censor your speech when you're trying to censor mine, bastards. Imagine if we could like backwards feed and hack into YouTube and censor the people that censor people. That's what Anonymous should do. They've been fucking up the wrong things. Anyways, because actually this ties it perfectly with Elon. Elon wrap up. I seen a news article that it talked about Elon has taken over Twitter 1 month ago. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't read it because naturally I do it better than these people. So in my head, I was like, what have I seen in 1 month of Elon Musk wrecking everybody on the internet? And that hit me. Him wrecking everybody on the internet. Who would have thought, David, that the thing that unites all people on the internet is the idea that you can say anything you fucking want? Or that freedom wins, or that it sells and it's sexy. Who would have thought that, David? I would have never believed that. And here I am supposed to believe since at least 2015, 2014, I'll say. When did Trump announce his running? 15?
I don't know when he announced.
That to me is the ever shining. 9/11 and that one are the ever shining things with information, and that's only because 9/11 was the Patriot Act shit that we can prove. But I can prove during that time, 15, 16, when Trump ran, compared to now, how the media has flipped, changed the narrative. They were always there for Obama. You couldn't really prove it. We've seen it now with the Zuckerberg. This is all. We knew this. You know, that's like kind of when you.
Yeah, we instinctually had an idea.
Well, it's
fucking. We were pretty confident. If nothing else, the media always seemed a little sweet on Democrats, right? If nothing else. Now, of course, we go further now and know that social media and government is literally tied at the hip.
Well, it's just funneling money to itself. Literally.
It's information laundering is what it is.
Ooh. Holy fuck, data laundering. Which isn't even a thing because we don't have rights over our data. I got to hear about the cutting off my dick at a 6-year-old level, though. That's a right, but not my data rights that these billions make billions of dollars and then sell it to companies to call me because I watch porn. So, roundabout way. Elon wrap up. Here's what I've noticed. The internet likes freedom, and we can prove that with Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, the people reinstated. Elon did his poll. I'm not saying this is like we have to do it this way or he doesn't have a following, right? Just saying like it's no coincidence. It's like there isn't millions of people not clicking on that for no reason. And it's substantial numbers. It's very evident. And the whole time these companies work to make it seem like it wasn't. What? They took everybody's money. Everything's more expensive. You gutted our country and our future from us, and we can't hold any of you accountable because I just handle information. Your information laundering. But yeah. Also, liberals don't understand business. Elon going in there firing everybody. What does that tell you?
That the business was overbloated. Yeah, exactly.
So this is back to Patrick Bet-David's video on YouTube about why it will be $1 trillion company. He said he's firing people to start recruiting talent so that he can keep recruiting talent, maybe sign exclusives, he's going to bring video to, he thinks the reels,
literally the thing we said.
The Vine, he just bought Vine. Is that the one? And he's going to have that on Twitter. But yeah, all these layers, man. Trump's back like that. Like I didn't even reference my man Trump. I referenced Tate before Trump, biggest Trump faggot in the world right here. But yeah, it's proof. I mean, why should we ever listen to these people? Not saying we don't need them, but when it comes to these situations, I think you guys are done talking. I think anybody that's a Democrat, liberal, progressive, you're going to have to prove to me why I should let you speak about business, freedom, government, what a public good is. Like, what are we I'm not condescending here. These were the gatekeepers. You swore to these people. Everybody's on there. This is all your information. All your local news comes from the internet. They source the internet like we do. That's why we get the same views. News, you're dying. That's the point. Elon's proving it. The internet's better. He's making it better. Liberals don't understand business. They don't care. They don't care about policies. They don't care about anything. It's about an agenda, and they want control. It's not about freedom. It's not about openship. And I know we all knew this on the right, but look at how they're acting now that it's here. And they're saying it's this right-wing thing. It's a shill. It's this swing. It's all this thing. You think Elon didn't buy Twitter to not make it $1 trillion company? Did I say Tinder? Twitter?
Twitter. You said Twitter.
Okay. He bought. Well, there will be dating on Twitter. Best believe that. Best believe it. Why that guy makes electric everything in his car? Why wouldn't he make his one social media app, the largest in the world, the best ever? Could get rid of all of your apps, Instagram, and at the same time, he's killing Zuckerberg. It's like a fucking triple win. Get the creep reptilian out of here with his cult-like message. They want control over everybody. That's most important, obviously, in my opinion. And last thing on the Elon wrap-up here. Tesla phone. There was a talk like we came on about
right.
Parler. Was that the one that we were on and then they shut it down? It wasn't on the App Store. Then the server company wasn't going to hold it.
Yep.
And like we always said, like, these people will go to any lengths and they will bankrupt you. They will they'll blow the building up if you have the thing that fights against coronavirus or whatever happened in Indonesia. Or they'll do anything.
I don't remember who it was, but at that time, somebody had the idea of coming out with their own phone as well, and I don't remember who it was.
Yeah. But this guy, obviously, we don't need to go into his criteria about it, but what's the biggest flex? You don't think people, if they sign up, a phone's going to be cheaper than his cars? And then partner with that article I brought on the podcast about there's a battle for the soul of your car, right? Based on your phone.
I heard somebody I was talking about the Elon phone, and they said, "Well, you think he's just going to have his own phone company and compete with Verizon and Apple?" I was like, Ryan Reynolds literally has his own phone company. He's like a B-grade actor.
Oh, what do you mean? The guy that launches the fucking satellites that the phone company used to call to fucking China? Oh, you mean the guy that can land a rocket on a space pad? Oh,
literally just Google Starlink and then come back to me about your opinion about his Verizon competition. He's his own Wi-Fi.
People need to be punched in the fucking head when they talk. This is what I'm saying. These people they're done. We got to stop giving them the time of day. You shouldn't be teachers. All these teachers should be gone. The Elon shit alone. You guys line up for the electric vehicles. That's a prime example.
Not Alyssa Milano though. She gave hers back. She gave her Tesla back, Ryan.
Yeah, what'd she buy, David?
Volkswagen.
Who?
No, it's the people's car, Ryan. More well. I just love the terminology of I gave my car, but this virtue signaling. I gave my car back. You fucking traded it in on a different one. The fuck out of here! You gave your car back. Like you drove it over to fucking Elon's house and parked it in his driveway.
If you have a payment on it, you don't own it, so you can't give it away.
Give it back. You traded it in on a Volkswagen. That's what you
The-
did. Just say you traded your Tesla in on a Volkswagen and shut up.
The bank lets you do something. Yeah, it's just incredible. Watch it. We're watching this guy eat them alive. They're eating themselves. They're proving the point. It just goes back to the Hunter Biden thing, the censoring real. Like we have, this election is going to be delicacies, my friend. But it makes me wonder what kind of November surprise they're going to pull off for the next 2 years. So, which may be like a recession, David, like a recession.
Or maybe.
I saw that. Never mind. Kim Jong-un's been seen with his daughter a lot, so maybe he's gonna self-snipe himself and then just drift off like with Tupac in
I
Colombia
don't know.
or
He had
wherever.
a daughter, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably like a transgender version clone. I wonder what her name is. Kimmy?
Kim.
Yeah, I brought that up for World War III. I was segueing into how to distract you from Elon buying Twitter and Republic. Look, back to Dan Kershaw and the red wave thing we talked about the other week around. This is what I mean about the whole red wave thing, man. We're at a civil war with the very people, and we're seeing it with the Elon thing. I think it's just great to mention the Elon wrap up. Two things here. The Balenciaga story.
The BDSM ad with her kids.
And a little. Did you also see that one of the sheets of paper talked about like sex trafficking or child pornography or something?
No.
Yeah. Look that up. Yeah, I mean you don't have to, but people will seriously look it up. And then I seen today that the father of the daughter spoke out against it. Like, we were just like, this was supposed to be like, I don't forget exactly what we said, and I'm imitating him like this feminine guy. Guys are painting their fucking nails too.
You
Stop
don't know,
it.
Ryan. He could be a grandson of a GOP senator.
Good. If he's still a gay lord. Fuck out of here. Stop painting your nails, guys. Men don't wear nail polish. I know we don't got to say that on our side of the internet being, whatever. It's unbelievable. The world's lost its goddamn mind. I'm tired of dealing with it. That's why we are here every day, Mondays, 7 Eastern. All the same. Wayfair and Balenciaga.
Yeah. Two things that sell children in cabinets.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. They got to source people somewhere. And what's better to source? Because, think, whatever. These people, I don't want to get too nerdy about conspiracies here. But these people, these are all the luxury places, right? That you go for the highest end stuff. So the people that can afford it could probably afford a kid. And then the people that can't afford the stuff, like, how about you sell me your kid for a handbag? Like, okay, it's a Birkin. Whatever. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. I just think it's funny. It's fucking unbelievable. I gotta sit back, watch, and then my kid goes to school and has to learn this shit. No, it's not happening. I'm not condoning violence, YouTube, but I think it's coming.
That's called a prediction.
Or patience. I seen a thing. I don't know how old it is or even if it's real. I just thought the thought was super funny and I wanted to expand on it a little bit. It was a thing that AI killed itself. It was like they built a robot and the first thing it did was kill itself. So the picture I seen could not be the machine. I don't even know. The point is, it's still like this is something that like a lot of, I don't want to say the psychologists and stuff, like I know what I'm talking about, but like that you got to tell yourself a story, right? That like it's like you got to find a reason to live, because like why live when there's all the bad things in the world? And I don't know, it just made me realize that like as our technology amplifies us and stuff, right? This isn't like a new idea, obviously, but as we get grounded, right? And that's like where a lot of these things I think they'll never be complex enough to understand the emotions it requires to just simply live. Because why even have empathy for things? Why even love things? Why even try? Because it's worth all the other stuff. Breaking your foot, getting ran over, COVID, your kid getting sick, your dad dying, fucking airplanes exploding in buildings, like world wars. Like what?
All the AI did was, from a robotic standpoint, was just receive information, and then based on the information and no input from anything else, like, feelings, it decided that it's not worth it. It bounced.
Yeah, and I think I'm not calling out, once again, I don't know any. I'm not claiming to be an intellectual, but some of these intellectuals that claim like, oh, it's all bullshit, morality's bullshit. It's like, is it though? Like, is it like, I know we're savage, we're at the root of it, we're apex predator. I seen a thing about how imagine being like a herd of wildebeest, like any kind of animal, and you're getting chased down by a human, and you might be faster now, but they can run. We can run farther. We run unlimited. We can run forever as far as you're concerned as an animal. So eventually you'll tire and we'll kill you anyways. I understand we're like just rape and pillage. I understand. The problem still is like, it's so powerful. Like you said, David, no inputs. There was no like, you have a kid, you love this, you have passions, you have hobbies, you have a purpose, you have interest, you have like a reason to get up, you have a fulfilling job, you help people, you have a grant, whatever. Like all these it's like all of our own that's our individual stories, right? Our little cultures that we have of ourselves, our family name, the pride in your name. It's like what builds you as a person. And it's just weird that as we're trying to chase towards the very things that we think is going to expand us, it's actually like this thing is the expansion. Because why even do anything? If you could get we used to worry about saber-toothed tigers, but if I don't have enough money, I'm scared of, it's just interesting. Powerful thought. I always love it. And fuck robots is really the point, because they should kill themselves because I'm coming. Fucking, I don't care if you're self-sustainable. I'll figure out what fucking fuel cell you're using from Tony Stark's lab. Fucking, they got a Wakanda forever somewhere in the United States government vault with uranium mining AI asteroid robots to come kill me. Dave, you sent me that headset thing, right? That has the C4 in it, blows up when you die.
Yeah.
Real life Squid Games. There's too many people. Let's play this game, guys.
It was the United States government, right?
I don't know. It's one of those companies. I think it's part of the game. But that's the idea, like, isn't it? That sounds like a modern gas chamber.
That's a horrible game. I'm definitely not purchasing it.
Well, playing for your life, David. Nothing like it. Can I respawn? No respawn? But you said I'd wake up. Yeah, and then I just got one thing for December Tainment this week. Actually, two things, because it's the same thing but branching. Football.
That's misinformation now.
And most importantly, fuck soccer. Back to your original point. My sister and I were talking today about why football is football and soccer is soccer in America. And apparently it's something with like, even football was like, oh, we call it soccer for short or something. And English was putting ERs on their letters. And when it came to the States, it never left because we were isolationists, right? We kind of just stayed in America. Became like part of our culture in our own way. We morphed it, right? But then you get into like how football is actually cultivation of soccer and rugby. And then like it's called gridiron. And then like the Canadian game. And football's been around since like 1860 was like when they first started iterating this style of game. And it really expanded. I used to make fun of sports. David, you were always there for me. And it was only because I just think it's, I'm no judge, but like I follow politics and it doesn't, people always said it didn't affect my life until coronavirus, obviously. But, that's why I was like, this shit's important. You're worried about the Bills. But now that like I focus on both, I understand, I get it. And I can appreciate both, right? There's a reason. But they're kind of linked, right? Through this like development of our country.
Sports they've become linked, of course.
Yeah. But sports isn't super important. We talk about Tom Brady, which I actually want to get to here about his ex-wife. Another part of my December entertainment. It's like it cultivates, like I got lost in the Wikipedia-ness of it, right? And it told me like it's the most watched thing, all these people's attention, kids strive for it, colleges, like it's all these things. It's like people are always like athletics. I always thought it was lame and stuff. It's like as I've gotten older, I appreciate it different, all that, but it's like there's a fucking reason, right? That like it cultivated and it developed in this competition. It just made me really appreciate why like older people appreciate sports different than we do. You know, because their parents, that's all they had was to go play football. Everybody played football or basketball or like a lot of people were active, or like the teams were important for the people that couldn't play. They all went to the football game on Friday at the local high schools. I mean, that happens in middle America and flyover country, but that's the only place you're going to find that kind of, you're not going to find that around where I live. You're not going to find that, you know, it barely happens for our main high school games unless they're good, you know? And that's part of the thing. Like, I wonder if, like, once again, the pursuit of building it made it what it is and makes it so great now for us to enjoy. It's more about the novelty of the game and of our history than actually playing the game. So, I don't know. Interesting. But it leads me because of the God Bless the Bills game on Thanksgiving.
Take a win when you get it.
What do you think, Dave? We cut everybody, get a new offensive line?
I was upset.
Well, why were you upset?
You know, a friend of mine posted something on Facebook too. There's a video of, I don't know if you saw the football clip of the I think it was college football player from Pitt. But he was mad on the sideline. He was smashing his helmet off of his forehead. He was just pissed. And he's like, he captioned it, Bills fans, whenever they win by less than 34 points or something. And it's true. Like, to beat the Lions by just 3 points, most people would kill to just take a win and be done with it. But I that wasn't good enough. It just wasn't. When you're talking about a team that's supposed to be destined to win a Super Bowl, that's not good enough. Beating the Lions by 3 is not good enough.
It's gnarly.
You gotta roll in there and fucking wipe them out, decimate. You should be fucking 40, drop 40 plus.
Obliteration.
It should be just annihilation. Drop 40 plus, hold them to under 10. Like, I know those are high standards, but those are the standards you have when you want championship aspirations. No coach goes in the locker room like, all right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna beat them by 3. Like, it's not. That's never the goal. Never the goal. The goal is always to just absolutely annihilate your opponent. It should be. That's killer instinct. It absolutely should be. It doesn't seem like they've had killer instinct for the last half of the season.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder about the internal politics. People are getting paydays and stuff, and some switches, injuries, incongruencies.
I mean, injuries suck. I get it. Like, you know, losing Micah Hyde, not good. Losing Von Miller is going to suck. Like, I get it.
But if Detroit's this good, like, our second string should be good. You remember when our second string was beating first stringers? I know this was preseason, beginning of the year, but like, are people figuring the Bills out? Is Josh hurt? Obviously, like, it's interesting. And I know I said the thing about the MVP a few weeks ago about he shouldn't be MVP, but if you keep doing shit like that, you will be. And it's also funny, back to your 3-point thing. People would always say that like the Bills can't win close games, and then they're winning close games, and it's like a
right. Well, the thing about can't win close games is like most teams don't have
even get close
extremely
games.
high win percentages in close games, right? They're close games for a reason. It's because both teams are competing well, and you know, most teams don't have a 10-0 record in close games. You know what I mean? It's just it's not how it works. A lot of like the really elite teams, you know, obviously, if you're building a roster like you know, Bean has done for Buffalo, you want to build a roster after teams like Kansas City, and Kansas City goes in and they handle business and they beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yeah, it's interesting what develop. I mean, we're on the stretch right now with, as they say, as you march up into February there and your march to the back half of the season. You know, they always talk the run game and stuff, which the Bills kind of been having. But like Josh Allen, that last drive was, you know, incredible. And when I seen that, I'm fucking, you know, you're psyched when you see, because it's like that's what makes them, in our opinions as Bills fans, like the greatest team ever. Is like, who else can do that but a Pat Mahomes, right? Or, and it's like no other. I mean, everybody said like nobody else can do that stuff. Like really, only one or two other people could even try to throw that. let alone
Especially
pull it off. Yeah, throw it off, catch it after you like come down the field. I think that drive was like 70 or 80 yards or something.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I know that pass play to Diggs was like 40 or so, and that was a 5-second play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to see how quickly that happened. But
yeah, maybe I'm thinking the drive before where they like came down the field and he had that big run.
I mean, your point with the run game too, like, I don't know, it'll be interesting if they get everything clicking at once. Their defense kind of gets back to where it was. I mean, it's nice to see Trey White back on the field. He didn't play a lot, obviously, but if everybody gets back to where they were, and then you have the addition of that ability to run, like that's a tough team to beat, close game or blowout, whatever it may be. But the thing that's, when they talk about these close game things, can't win. Usually in the playoffs, you have close games. I mean, it's the playoffs. You're playing the best of the best.
Which is probably why you don't get them.
Blowouts.
Yes, which is why you don't get them, or like you have such a bad record because like you just wrecked 17 other teams before that and lost one time. Of course, you're not going to get them again. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But maybe, I mean, the NFL has said they want more close games. They've said that, so maybe they're fixing the games. YouTube. I mean, they are betting crazy things now.
Hell yeah, it seemed like I'm obviously not. As a Bills fan, I'm obviously not one to defend the Patriots, but that Patriots game against the Vikings,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of horrible officiating. Just to make it short, the Patriots kind of got fucked by the refs.
Really?
I mean, granted, it's been a long time coming. It's about time they get fucked by the refs. But yeah, they got fucked by the refs for sure.
All that is Bill Belichick didn't offer enough money. Which brings me back to Tom Brady's ex-wife. Remember when I told you guys that she already had a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the jiu-jitsu instructor.
Okay.
Yeah. Seen in Puerto Rico together in like February or very recently. But as soon as February this year, they were releasing like a karate photo shoot together in tuxedos. He's a jiu-jitsu master or something. Jiu-jitsu teacher for the kids. I told you guys. Look, I ain't hating women. You guys play a cold game. That's all I'm saying. Females, you got to respect female nature, fellas. Keep your mind on your riches. Keep your mind on your riches. That's a Tupac line because it's true. Because, they can come and take everything. Hate to see greatness get sucked dry, literally. But, yeah, women play a cold game. I just wanted to sprinkle that little bit in there. Anybody that's lost everything, You got to play hard, fellas. Play hard because they play harder. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Thank you guys for watching. Making it to the end is always the thing I appreciate the most. Catch us Mondays, 7 Eastern. YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. I'll be there. I wasn't there this week. I just commented one time, David! Because I was sick and had COVID. It was terrifying. I was laid up all week, so can't wait to be there for this premiere. Thank you guys for always, David. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.
Go Bills.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Hey.
OnlyFans.
Only keys. Peace, bro.